Hello, everybody, and welcome to my guide of the Grasp of Avarice dungeon. Hope you guys are having a good day. And yeah, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to complete the Grasp of Avarice dungeon to the best of my abilities, including chests and collectibles and things like that. I'm not going to be able to show you all of the collectibles because I don't think I collected them all, but still, I'll be able to show you guys a few good chunks. So, starting off the mission right off the bat, it's asking you to investigate the loot cave, and that's going to be really easy to find. It's just going to be in front of you once you enter the encounter. You're going to be facing a few hives, some wizards and stuff like that, and eventually what's going to happen is inside the cave you're going to notice a crystal, and that crystal you're going to have to power. Now notice that these yellow engrams are falling on the floor all over the terrain while you're killing the hive. Now you need to pick those up, and as you can see, I'm getting a buff, or I wouldn't call it a buff, but I'm burdened by riches. Now, being next to that crystal over there allows me to release the burden by riches into that crystal. So basically what you have to continually do is defeat hive and get those buffs, and once you have enough of those buffs, just bank them into that crystal. And the way you do that is just by standing next to the crystal once you have the engrams or the riches, and eventually what will happen is you'll see that the floor will open up, and then you'll continue to go through. So after that, you're going to have to... Oh, by the way, there's their first collectible over there for all of you. And as you're going through, you're going to notice that there's a little bit of flying or jumping that you need to be doing depending on which, guardian you are. As far as weapons are concerned for this raid, I'll let you know during each encounter which one is the best to use, but really, any of the weapons do work well as long as they do big damage. But again, during each encounter, I'm going to let you guys know which weapon is the best and which weapon I preferred to use and which ones I didn't, because I did use some weapons that weren't that great. So, you're going to do some ad clearing as you progress through the dungeon. This part, again, is pretty straightforward. And then eventually you're going to reach a spot in the dungeon where there's going to be a bit of lever pulling and activations and things like that. So I'm going to get to that right now. The first thing that you'll notice once you pass through this cave on your right is that there's going to be some doors that you can open up. Now you want to open up the door on the left side of the doors that I was just at. I know I panned a little bit quickly over there. I apologize, but you'll notice that there's some collectible loot. If you go back just a little bit, there's some loot. This is just the door. I was literally in this area. I kind of messed up, I guess, with the editing a little bit. And then what you're going to do is in that same area, you're going to go through a tunnel that's going to bring you over here. And once you get to this area over here, there's going to be an activation lever. Now, this is, again, you're going to need this for, I believe, a opening this area over here. So once you get back into this main room over here, you're going to jump up a little bit more, and eventually you're going to reach these three what can I call them? These three I'm blanking over here. These three sewer pipes. And the sewer pipe that I went to over here, this is the one on the far right. Once you get up there, this is the one that you're going to click on. So once you click on that, the top is going to open, and then you can proceed through the dungeon. I was hesitant to do it because my partner that I was playing it with the other person on my fire team was leading me into all the traps. There are a lot of traps. You're going to see I'm going to hit another one by accident on that plate over there. I was not noticing these at all, so be careful when you're going through the raid, because there are a lot of traps and stuff like that, which are actually kind of fun. And then I actually went the wrong way here. So, well, you're supposed to go this way, but just keep in mind that behind here, before you go through, there is a collectible that you'll want to get before you continue through the dungeon. So that should be collectible number, I think, 4 that I found. And you're just going to collect that letter in a bottle and then proceed through the dungeon. Wilhelm's going to, talk about his life and how many days he's been on this dungeon, etc., etc. So, moving forward, this is the part where you just have to jump through holes and continue to hit activation levers. So that first hole that I jumped through is the first one that you're going to want to go through. I'm sorry for the jump cuts here. I guess they were poorly placed, but you're going to want to activate this one, and the rest of these activations that I show you do not have jump cuts, so it's just going to be a seamless movement, because the buddy that I was playing with, he seemed to get through this pretty quickly. So the next one that you're going to go through is over there. You're going to, do some more ad clearing, make sure that that is taken care of. For these parts, I'm mainly just using an auto rifle. You don't need any big damage at this point. I will say that the arbalist is good to have later on for encounters, as well as perhaps a linear fusion rifle for damage. Anyways, this is the second lever that you're going to be activating over here. No collectibles in this area, so just continue on along. And then you're going to go to this spot over here, where again, you're going to have to hit a lever, if I'm not mistaken. Just follow my guy up along there. And there's going to be another panel over here. It looks like I didn't deactivate the panel that I passed by, so keep that in mind. Again, I was hesitant to hit the panels because my buddy was telling me that he was tricking me into killing myself very often. So yeah, the next panel is going to be over here. And simply put, you're just going to activate it and then move forward in the encounter to actually what I call the first boss phase. So once you get through all of this stuff over here, you're going to defeat some hive that spawn at the very end of this river sewer thing, the septic river, if that's what you want to call it. So just go through there and you'll reach your first encounter, which in my opinion, actually, it's not the most difficult encounter. It's the second most difficult encounter of the 3 bosses that you will be facing in this dungeon. This dungeon was very amazing. I kind of messed up over here. I popped my super, and then I fell in the septic water. That was kind of embarrassing, and then my buddy had to come all the way back to res me, so yeah, mistakes were made. Anyways, continue along over here, and I think there might be another collectible around here if you follow along with my guy. Oh, it looks like there's a panel that needs activating, so make sure that you activate that. Alright, and then you can proceed once again through the septic area, and this will lead you to the first boss encounter. I guess I'll go ahead and call it that. Make sure that you're following along. It looks like there was another activation done over here, so make sure that you're doing the activations as my buddy is doing them to get through. And yeah, you're going to defeat a few more hive over here, and then continue on through. Now, there are 2 doors over here. You're going to want to pick the one on the right, not the one on the left. I picked the one on the left after I picked the one on the right, just for fun, and basically spikes just come out and kill you. You're going to enter this room over here, which I also think is very simple. So what you're going to have to do in this room here is still continue to defeat hive. and you're gonna have to activate a few more of these panels. So just continue following along with what I am activating, or sorry, with what my buddy is activating. My bad, I guess I died over there. This part is a little bit uncut, so we're gonna have to... Oh, we both died. Okay, that's embarrassing. So yeah, don't die in this dungeon, because that's gonna be no good. So we're gonna restart this, and basically what we're gonna want to do is, after we activate 2 panels, we're going to, I think it's 2 panels, it might be 3, you'll see soon enough. And once we finish activating those panels, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick up a Scorcher, I think it's called. So you know that rocket launcher that you fire that allows you to charge up the shot? That's what you're going to have to do. So again, make sure that you hit the appropriate panels and get rid of the ads over here. I guess I could have cut this out a little bit more. I do apologize for that, but I thought I'd keep it just, you know, so you guys could see some gameplay. My recording is being a little finicky over here while I am miking this scene, so I do apologize if I'm stuttering a little bit. But basically what's going on is I'm activating those things like I discussed. And then once you've activated those 2, you're going to go back over to the part where you came from, kind of. And you're going to notice that a few ads are going to pop up. And one of those ads are going to have that rocket launcher that I discussed. So just give this a while. That's going to be the last activation. So sorry, it looks like there's a 3rd activation over there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back to where you came from, over number 2 over there, where you're going to find the fallen with the scorched weapon. So now you can see that my buddy has the rocket launcher. So now you got to go back, and you're going to use this rocket launcher to open a door. That's door number 4 over here. You're going to see that there's this little antenna looking thing with a hole in it. So as you can see, my buddy shot at it, and now he's holding. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold down the shot until it charges up to the 3rd charge. By the way, there's a death scene coming up. Yeah, be careful when you're going up there, because you're going to get destroyed by a barrel. So yeah, you're going to want to charge that shot up. So once you shoot that hole that my buddy shot to open the door, make sure to hold that shot, because it's going to charge up while you hold it, kind of like a sticky bomb. And the more you hold it, the more it'll charge up. And once it gets to its 3rd charge, that's when you're going to want to release your left mouse button in order to allow the explosion to detonate. And also, my friend died over there. There's another panel, so just be careful with that. And over here underneath is a collectible. Again, I was hesitant to go in because I thought it was another trap. I didn't leave the parts where my buddy killed me, but perhaps I'll post that in a later video. It was really funny. I kept getting aggravated during the entire time. So basically what you're going to do now is you're going to go into the first encounter. So if you're following along with my guardian over here, he's just jumping through some areas, and at the end over here is where the first encounter is. So the first encounter is this giant ass ogre, excuse my French, and basically what you're going to want to do, you're going to see me do it here right now, is you're going to want to go pick up again one of those rocket launchers that we were using earlier. There's going to be an ad at the very end of this area that you're going to have to kill, and it'll provide you with a scorched rocket launcher. And with that scorched rocket launcher, what you're going to do is you're going to use it to do the same mechanic that you did last time we used the scorched rocket launcher. So over here you can see my buddy and I have started the encounter, and like I said, the ad with the rocket launcher is going to be in the very back of the area. So right over there, my buddy's killed it and he's picking it up. And you'll notice on the left-hand side and the right-hand side that there are those terminals that we used last time where we shot with the rocket launcher. And you can't see them right now, but you'll get a good glimpse of them. But basically what you got to do is you got to shoot at that terminal, and it's going to open up these garage doors. Now, once you're in these garage doors, you're going to notice some engrams that have, you know, you might recognize these engrams from before. So we're kind of doing the same thing that we did with the crystal at the beginning of the encounter. You're picking up these engrams and you are going to bank them into a crystal in the area. So I've picked up 11 engrams at this point, and I'm going to release the burden of riches by going next to this crystal in the middle, right in front of the ogre. Now try and hide behind the crystal while you're banking. So here's an example of my buddy shooting that right side terminal. So before we did the left side, now we're doing the right side. He's going to shoot it. He's going to hold it so that the damage increases until the third point. And then at the third point, he releases and it opens the, let's call them the garage doors. So again, you're going to be picking up these engrams, banking them in the crystals, and then eventually you're going to bank enough engrams so that the ogre in the middle that you have to defeat is no longer invincible, and you can start doing damage. So you're going to see me do that really quick, and really after that it's just a rinse and repeat. Another great tip is that with the engrams, the burden by riches, if you have more than 10, you will receive your super automatically. So try and collect more than 10 of those burdened riches before you go bank. But what I would recommend doing is going side by side. So you'll see here that I have 11 riches and my super has filled up to the top. So just remember that. You'll notice that at the beginning of the dungeon also, and all throughout. If you have more than 10 of those engrams, you will in fact have a full super from that. So that's really good to note because it'll help you also in a later encounter. And yeah, basically you're just going to rinse and repeat. You're going to go on both sides of the garage doors until you defeat the ogre. Once you've done that, it should take maybe 3 tries, actually maybe less, depending on how many people you have in your fire team. There's a collectible over there, so make sure that you get that. And then we're going to move on to the next encounter. Now, you may be familiar with this mechanic. It's going to be Sparrow Riding. Yay! So with Sparrow Riding, I'm not the greatest, full disclosure. So I'm going to try my best to explain what happens in this encounter. But I hate to say this, but if I'm having trouble explaining, then, you know, there are other videos out there. But let me try my best. So on the left side, there's going to be a switch that allows you to open these gates. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get on your Sparrow, and you're going to have to, kind of like Scourge of the Past, you're going to have to drive through the area and hit little clicker things. Now you see I just passed by one of those clicker things on the right side, and activate these mines. Now you're going to drive through them rather quickly. I messed up over here because I was doing very poorly, but you're going to drive through the mines rather quickly, and what will happen while you drive through the mines is you're going to what's the word I'm looking for? Deactivate them. And you're going to have to deactivate a total of 4 mines, and I'm going to respawn here very shortly. I don't know why I kept this in, but I'm too far in now, so let's just let it roll. And you guys probably want to just skip forward a little bit. So I'm going to revive, and then I'm going to show you where you have to ride. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get on your speeder or vehicle, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to drive all the way through. So once you pass section A, you're going to have to go through section B. You're going to see at the bottom there's another metal thing on the left over there. It's green already because my buddy did it. And then this will be section B. And now we're riding through section C. which also has a button over there that you can click before you go through the section. And then there's going to be section D, which is going to be at the end of the at the end of the track, and section D will be activated based off of this jump that you have to perform. Now, I was having trouble with this jump, and my buddy was saying it's because of the vehicle that I was using. You'll see this sort of like a skull looking thing. So as you can see, there was like that skull cave. So you got to get into the skull cave. You see it at the top right. I didn't notice it until now, actually, but yeah, that's a skull. So I'm gonna get back on my whip. I might actually change the vehicle here. Or no, I already did that, so I'm going to try and make it. And you'll notice that I don't actually make it to the top. So this is just going to be practice, guys, until you get it right, and try and switch your vehicles around. But it's okay, because the part where I end up landing is actually the part where the next collectible is. So yeah, that works. It's going to be just at the bottom over here. I went the wrong way, and then my buddy's like, hey, come back, there's a collectible. And then I got it. So over there, you're going to pick up the collectible. Wilhelm's going to talk to you a little bit more, and then you're going to go to the next boss fight. So we're going to watch as we go through this beautiful cave. There's going to be a little bit of jumping over here. And once we go through these jumps, you might want to watch, because it's not too difficult, but it's a little bit tricky. And also, I think there's a collectible up here that you're going to want to pick up. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go at the top of these icicles, and just behind this top icicle over here, you're going to find another collectible. And then once you've collected that, oh, I thought I didn't collect it. I was tripping out for a second. I'm like, wait, did I not collect that? Okay, so you're going to drop down to the very end, at which point you're going to go through a little bit more of a walk, let's call it that, until you get to the next encounter. And the next encounter is going to be, so we're going to be using that rocket launcher again to activate those antennas, those cells. So you can see over there right in front of me, actually, there's the first sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Thing that you have to shoot. So first you got to go to the guy at the back over there, get the scorched rocket launcher, and use it to shoot yourself and propel yourself forward to the encounter. Now, during this encounter, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking for sentinels, a total of which there are 4. And once you find the area, so you're going to fly through these cannons, and the way you do that is by shooting with your scorched cannon those antenna things that I was talking to you about, those terminals, and they will release you from the cannon. And when you are on the cannon, don't jump or anything like that. Just stay the way we are. I know I jumped there. I shouldn't have done that. Don't jump. And so what we're doing right now is we're going around the map to look for the first sentinel. Also, there is a collectible over here, so just a heads up to pick that up while you're going through this area. So once we find the first sentinel, what we're going to have to do is the same thing. We're going to pick up engrams, we're going to put them in the crystal, and then we're going to defeat the sentinel. And yeah, it's literally that easy. So this is the first area where I found a sentinel. So now I can start shooting ads around that sentinel in order to pick up these engrams that I need to bank into the crystal. So just killing ads over here, nothing too complicated. Picked up a cannon, but I don't really need it right now. The only thing that I need to be doing is killing ads, and eventually you see there's a little crystal in this hut over here. And once I've banked enough engrams into that crystal, we will be able to defeat the sentinel, because it will lose its invincibility. And once it's lost its invincibility, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to push the sentinel into the cannon that we used. So notice my friend and I were moving the sentinel around until we get it into the cannon. And then once it's in the cannon, you're going to activate the cannon. And oh, I died there because I still had a burden of riches. I forgot to bank those in the crystal. That was my fault. So now that's a prime example of what happens if you don't bank your burden of riches. So again, here's another example of another Sentinel that we just killed that will bank and then activate with the cannon and shoot it into the enemy. So this is the final one, and once you've finished this, so you got to do it 4 times. You got to shoot 4 Sentinels at this giant balloon, air balloon, and then you will have completed this part of the dungeon. There's really not much else I can tell you about this dungeon. Once you have finished completing this dungeon and you've shot all those Sentinels out, I think we're going to go to another collectible over here, so keep your eyes peeled. There it is. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go into the middle of the map like we're doing right now, and you're going to have to shoot yourself up. So that's very easy. You finish the second last boss, and then you pick up a Scorch Cannon, and you go to the middle, and you're going to shoot that terminal like my buddy's going to do right now, and then we're going to go flying up. And yeah. The final encounter, and probably the hardest one in my opinion, is coming up now, and it's a little bit of what we've already done before. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you guys about this encounter is that there's going to be a Sentinel and a fallen captain or something like that you're going to want to defeat before you actually start doing damage to the boss. So what's going to happen in this encounter, as you're going to see soon, is we are going to start it and start killing Shanks, as well as start killing this Shank in the middle that's very tanky, as well as this fallen captain. And then once we've killed those 2 things, so there's the fallen captain that I'm doing damage to, and at the top you'll see the Shank that needs to die. So once we've done those 2 things, what's going to happen is we're going to need to pick up another cannon and shoot it at a terminal. And there are 3 terminals on this map, so before you start the encounter, just look up in the middle of the map. You'll see there's one at the top right now, there's one on the left, and there's one on the right. So middle, left, and right. What you're going to want to do after you defeat the Shank and the captain, this is not necessary, but I recommend it because these 2 guys, this guy and the Shank, does a lot of damage. So you won't be able to clear a reasonable damage phase until you wipe those 2 other guys. And once you've cleared out those 2 other guys, what you're going to do is you're going to use the Scorched Cannon, and you're going to see me do it shortly, into a terminal, and it's going to drop more of those yellow engrams that we're used to. And it's going to drop 10 on each side, I think, at first. And so, very simple, you're going to pick those up, and you're going to bank them into the crystals in the middle. So you're going to see that very shortly over here. A few tips while you're fighting, because you're probably going to be staying on one side. Make sure that you clear your ads on your end, and try and use your super before you hit the terminal with your Scorched Cannon, because there's going to be exactly 10 engrams that drop when you hit your the terminal with the Scorched Cannon, and I'm going to show you that very shortly over here. I think my guy's just about to get to it. Sorry it's taking so long, ladies and gentlemen. So over here you're going to see that these ads are going to pop up, from time to time with their cannons, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to kill them, and you're going to want to take the cannons, and then you're going to want to use it to shoot the terminals. But again, don't do that before you kill what's in the middle, that Shank and that captain. So here's the first one. I'm charging it up, and then it's going to explode, and then on the right side, engrams are going to drop. There they are, a total of 10. So I'm going to get my super as soon as I pick up all 10 engrams, and then I can use it when I need to defeat other champions or anything like that. After I've got 10, I'm going to find my way to the middle, that's where the crystal's going to be. So be careful when you're banking the crystal, because you're going to have to hide from the boss, Captain Avarice. Otherwise, he's going to kill you, because he is invincible and he does do mad damage. Try and, if you're a Titan, use your shield. I know I didn't do it in that particular situation, but try and use your shield as best as you can when you are in the middle over there, just to protect you and your friends. So again, I'm doing this. You're going to have to rinse and repeat this quite a few times before you do damage to the boss. And just another friendly tip that I can give you is when you... something very, very important to note is that, let's say, you noticed over here I hit this side of the terminal. You can't hit the same terminal consecutively. So if I hit left terminal the first time, don't hit left terminal the second time. Otherwise, it will mess up the mechanic. So that's something that's very, very important. And then eventually, I think once you bank 60 of those engrams, once you relieve 60 of the burdens, you're going to go into damage phase. You're going to start doing damage to the boss, which we're doing here. Not the best damage, but still, it's damage. And then what you're going to do is you're going to rinse and repeat. So you're going to go back. Shanks are going to appear. You're going to have to kill the shank. I shouldn't say shanks. That big shank is going to appear. You're going to have to kill that scary shank, and then you're going to also have to kill the captain again. Grab the rocket launcher, shoot it into the terminals, grab the engrams, and then again go into the middle and bank. Eventually, you will bank enough where you'll be moved into damage phase, where you can finally kill Captain Avarice, the covetous. And I think we're just about to get her done here. So, yeah, this is the final encounter. Now, I don't think it's as... The mechanic isn't going to be as difficult because you're going to have gotten used to it at this point. But one thing that's going to be difficult is definitely staying alive. So, try your best to do that. Once you've defeated the boss, in the back, right behind him... Oh, also, if you're trying to get the Gjallarhorn is what I call it, but obviously it's called Gjallarhorn. If you're trying to get the Gjallarhorn, this is, obviously the first step that you need to do. So, and then in the back, you'll see I picked up a collectible over there after you defeat the final boss. So don't forget to get your collectible. And then you can move to step 2 of the Gjallarhorn. The rest of the steps are easy after step 1, but obviously it's a dungeon, so it's not going to be, it's not going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. But yeah, this was an amazing dungeon. I really, really enjoyed doing it with my friend. Shout out to Porkchop for helping me with it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about the encounters or something that you thought I discussed poorly and you need more information on, please let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe as normal if this helped you or if you just enjoyed watching. And yeah, stay safe, stay sexy. Love you guys all. Peace out for now.